Well, hello there, beautiful people, and welcome to Sunny Daze, the podcast that's all good vibes, great stories, and just the right amount of magic. I'm your host, Jolly, and here we go. Well, first up, a Sunny Daze grad story. The tassel was worth the therapy. When Jasmine Riviera crossed the stage at Franklin State University, her mom screamed, "That's my baby," loud enough to rattle the podium flowers and probably a few trustees' nerves. But look, if you survive 4 years of academic whiplash as a first gen college student, you earn the right to shake the whole auditorium. Jasmine didn't come from a long line of college grads. She came from a long line of get it done. Her mom, Maria, ran a bakery by day and a sarcasm filled household by night. College? That was uncharted territory. FAFSA looked like encrypted spy data. Office hours sounded like a disciplinary action, and don't get her started on the group project incident of 2022, which still lives rent free in her nervous system. But she figured it out with grit, with Google, and an emotional support iced coffee. Jasmine learned to navigate syllabi, avoid ramen related malnutrition, and pretended to understand what networking meant, smiling at strangers with LinkedIn profiles, apparently. She graduated summa cum laude, though her mom insists it was summa cum lately because that one bio final Jasmine almost slept through. On graduation day, Jasmine wore her cap like a crown and her nerves like perfume. Strong, a little much, but unforgettable. And when she tossed that tassel, she didn't just celebrate herself. She celebrated for every cousin, neighbor, and auntie who ever said, "Mija, I don't know what you're studying, but I know you're smart." The tassel was worth it. The therapy, also worth it. Congratulations, Jasmine. Awesome job, awesome accomplishment. And now another grad story, part one. First time we've done that. We'll continue with part two next week, and I'd like to introduce you to a paging Dr. Pat. Patrice Langston didn't walk across the med school stage. She strutted in orthopedic heels, yes, but with the energy of a woman who knew exactly how long it took to earn that white coat. 30 years, 6 jobs, 2 kids, and one Beyonce concert for emotional reset. At 56 years young, Dr. Patrice, Dr. Pat to her friends, Ma to 2 proud grown sons, and Miss Langston to anybody who dared to underestimate her, had she become the first she had just become the first doctor in her family. Born and raised in South Detroit, she grew up playing Operation on a thrift store game board with a busted buzzer and a dreamer bigger than her zip code. Her journey? Let's just say it wasn't linear. She dropped out of undergrad at 22 to care for her mom, working as a nurse's assistant, later became a phlebotomist, and somewhere in between perfected the art of yelling, "You need to drink more water, baby," while taking blood pressure readings at the free clinic. She never stopped studying. She never stopped showing up, never stopped believing. Well, okay, she paused believing once in 2009, but her best friend Sheila slapped some sense back into her at the Waffle House with a napkin, prep talk, and a side of hash browns. Graduation day, it hit differently. The med school staff kept checking to make sure she was a graduate, not someone's aunt who wandered in looking for the snack table. She just laughed, fixed her lashes in the bathroom, and whispered, "Let 'em wonder." When her name was called, Patricia Langston, Doctor of Medicine, her entire row of family and neighbors stood up like they were in church. Somebody passed out from excitement. Someone else started playing "Ain't No Mountain High Enough" from a Bluetooth speaker tucked inside a floral purse. Pat tossed her cap like she was aiming a generational Dow. And when she caught her reflection in the window later, white coat, proud eyes, lip gloss popping, she smiled and said, "It's about dang time." Stay tuned next week for part two, Dr. Pat's first day. And now, how about some did you know facts? What else about older graduates? All right, friends, here's the deal. You think college is just for young guys? Well, think again. Here's some mind blowing facts about older grads that will leave you rethinking possibly your very own next step. Check this out. Did you know the average U.S. college grad is now 29? But wait, there's more. Lots of folks are jumping back into their studies in their 30s, 40s, even 50s and 60s. And did you know that older students are acting it in class? With a lifelong of real world experience, they're often better at solving problems, managing time, and crushing group projects. Talk about being prepared for life. And did you know, ready for this? Grandparents are enrolling in college at a higher rate than ever before. In fact, they're among the fastest growing group of students in the US. Some are even graduating with their grandkids. How you like that? And did you know that, forget that stereotype, older grads are killing it in tech. They are tech savvy seniors. From coding to digital marketing, seniors are proving that you can teach an old dog new tricks at any time. And not just for degrees. Trade schools, certifications, and professional development programs are also booming. Many older grads are getting credentials in healthcare, tech, and trades, making big moves without the traditional degree route. And motivation. When older students go back to school, they mean business. Their goals are personal, whether it's a career advancement, proving something to themselves, or setting a bad example for their kids. They're ready for it. And guess what? Did you know sometimes the whole family's involved? Parents, kids, grandkids, everyone supporting each other through that educational grind. The goal? Go back to school together. Proof positive, folks, that you're never too young, you're never too old to learn. Keep going. And in our movie spotlight this week, of course, what else? But a few of the best graduate movies. How about Legally Blonde from 2001? Ellie Woods turns heartbreak into Harvard Law School history. This pink powdered grad journey proves that brains, heart, and a little sparkle can take you anywhere. What? Like it's hard? And how about The Graduate from 1967? It's an iconic classic. Dustin Hoffman plays Benjamin Baddock, fresh out of college and deep in an identity spiral. Pool floats, forbidden love, and all. It's weird, it's wild, it's cinema. And how about High School Musical 3, senior year from 2008? Get your head in the game and your heart in the moment. Troy, Gabriel, and the gang face a big transition in song and dance and perfectly gelled hair. Graduation with glitter? Yes, please. And then there's Lady Bird from 2017, a coming of age Jen brings Lady Bird to life as she rebels, dreams, and stumbles her way through senior year, complete with college apps, mom moments, and a whole lot of feels. And what about the Dead Poets Society from 1989? Carpe Diem, Robin Williams surprises a group of preps schoolboys to seize the day, question conformity, and cherish the power of poverty. Get your tissues and your soul ready. There are so many good ones. And who can forget Ferris Bueller's Day Off? Okay, technically not a grad movie, but Ferris's senior skip day is basically one of the giant YOLO diploma in disguise. Life moves pretty fast, and Ferris knew how to live it up before tossing that cap. All right, now in the spotlight in our music, a few graduation songs. How about Good Riddance, Time of Your Life, Green Day, 1997. A bittersweet acoustic hug that made throwing your cap feel like a movie moment. And Graduation, Friends Forever, Vitamin C, 2000. The official soundtrack to yearbooks, memory books, and every teary cafeteria goodbye. And there's I Will Remember You by Sarah McLachlan, 1995. Cue the slow-mo hugs and montage-worthy photo slideshows. Breakaway with Kelly Clarkson from 2004. The anthem for dreaming big even when you still can't parallel park. And what about My Wish with Rascal Flatts? Pure country heart, sweet, sentimental, and surprisingly waterproof for those teary eyes. Oh, yeah. And See You Again with Wiz featuring Charlie Huff from 2019 for the modern grad who needs a beat and a reason to ugly cry and do their diploma in sleep. Uh, and now just thinking back to graduation, those of us who graduated in the 70s might remember songs like We've Only Just Begun by the Carpenters. Literal graduation magic, soft, dreamy, and filled with that life is just starting energy. And there's Forever Young by Bob Dylan, 1974. Bob's raspy blessing of hopes, dreams, and staying forever wise and free. And Fleetwood Mac with Landslide, 1975. Cue the introspection, thinking about changes and growing up and your mom crying in the crowd. There was Bill Withers from 1972, Lean on Me, because we all need our friends. When the cap flies off into the unknown, instant sing along classic. And You're My Best Friend, Queen, 1976, celebrating friendships that made the late night study sessions in the cafeteria food bearable. Fun fact, even though these weren't graduation songs on purpose, these tracks became part of the graduation spirit because of the timeless classics. New beginnings, change, friendships, and hopes. And in the 70s, they knew how to bring the feels, baby. So happy graduations fixing to happen to all of you. Big moments coming up. And now, how about a Sunny Daze story called The Magical Graduation of Duke and Daisy? At the heart of Willow Glen, nestled between all the hills and sunflower fields, set the Sunny Steps Academy for Service Pets, the finest and most enchanting training school for future furry heroes. And today, today was graduation day. The banners fluttered, balloons floated lazily in the breeze, and happy barks echoed like music across the meadow. Among the shining faces and wagging tails were two best friends, Duke and Daisy's. Both were Labradors, of course, golden coats glistening like sunbeams, hearts big enough to carry the world, and tails that wiggled with so much excitement they practically hovered. Duke was the class clown, the Labrador who could balance a ball on his nose for 7 entire minutes and still wink at the camera. Daisy, she was the mom friend of the class, calm, clever, somehow always had an extra sneaky toy tucked somewhere for emergencies. They had trained together for months, learning how to open doors, pick up drop phones, comfort during anxiety attacks, and even sense magic. But shh, that was the special skills elective they took secretly behind the school's big oak tree. When the headmistress, a wise old golden retriever named Miss Clementine, called their names over the loudspeaker, which was actually just a talking sunflower enchanted by Professor Hoos, the owl, Duke and Daisy trotted forward proudly, like their little navy blue capes tied around their necks and tiny graduation caps perched atop their heads. But as they reached the stage, something incredible happened. A gentle breeze spun around them, swirling in glittering golden lights. The headmistress smiled warmly and said, "You too have not just earned the skills of service, you've mastered the magic of art. Today you graduate not only with honor, but with wings of kindness that will carry you farther than you can imagine." At that moment, Duke and Daisy's capes shimmered and grew the faintest outline of sparkling wings. Not real ones, of course, but little magical symbols that would glow whenever they made somebody's world brighter. The crowd of humans and pets cheered wildly. Someone threw a bouquet of tennis balls into the air. Someone else cried happy tears into a giant fluffy Kleenex. And Duke and Daisy? They high-pawed each other and raced into their future, ready to serve, love, and protect, and sprinkle a little secret magic wherever they went. Because at Sunny Steps Academy, they didn't just graduate students, they graduated heroes. And stay tuned for next week when you can hear about Duke and Daisy's first mission they go on. All right, beautiful souls, that's a wrap on today's Sunny Days. Remember, kindness is contagious, joy is a choice, and a little bit of magic is hiding in the everyday. If you're willing to look for it, keep shining, keep smiling, and until next time, stay sunny, stay golden, and most importantly, stay you.